how do we manage our own limiting beliefs while we are coaching others? In this video, we are going to tackle this, and I'm going to answer how you can work on your own limiting beliefs and what to do to overcome them while you are still coaching others. First things first, you can absolutely still coach people while you have limiting beliefs, because unfortunately it is just a natural part of human nature. We are naturally going to have limiting beliefs, especially when we are first starting. There was a really interesting journal article that was written by Dahan, hopefully I'm saying that right, and he wrote an article all about critical moments in coaching, and he did it for beginner coaches, so those that were still in their first year of coaching, and then he did a comparison with coaches that were 8 years plus accredited and had loads of experience behind them, and he compared what critical moments were between those two groups. Now, in the first article, it was focused all around the beginner coach, so what defined critical moments in those coaching processes, coaching conversations. And one thing that he found in that article is that a lot of coaches had the same doubts. They had the same self-doubt, and the biggest one, the most famous one that everybody had was, who am I to make this work? Okay, who am I to be a great coach? Who am I to go out there and get clients? Who am I to go out there and charge people for money? We all have that doubt when we're first starting, especially when starting a business and being paid for our skills, our value is not something we're used to, instead of just having someone give us money for a paycheck for some things that we do, you know, on the daily, on that grind. So of course it's gonna feel weird when all of a sudden you're coming up with your prices, you're figuring out how much you are worth, let's say, to be able to go out there and give your services to others. So yes, it will feel uncomfortable. Now, other doubts are probably going to start to creep in as well. Am I good enough? Am I doing this right? Am I offering the right things for my services? What should I offer even? So we're all going to have these different fears that can creep in, these limiting beliefs, and the most important thing is to not let these beliefs bring us down or make us think that we're not going to be a good coach. And don't think that you're the only one who has these. Doubts are actually a good thing. Why? Because it shows that you care. It shows that you care about getting a good result for your client. It shows that you want to take this seriously. It shows that you really want to do a good job, that you don't want to mess this up, that, you know, this is important to you, all of these things. And it shows that you are genuinely curious about coaching and doing it right and doing what is right for your client. So, great news for you. If you are having any doubts, then yes, you are going to be a good coach, because guess what? You are going to put the time, the energy, the effort into becoming a good coach. Now, when we first start coaching, we get really nervous because we think, do I have the answer? Do I have the answer for this person? What if they ask me something that I don't know? What if they talk to me about a subject that I have no idea about? What if they go into something that's really traumatic and I don't know how to deal with it? What ifs are really the reason that we start panicking, that our self-doubt starts to kick in, because we start to play all these different situations in our mind and we're going, well, what if this happens? What am I gonna be able to do if this happened? Am I gonna be able to handle that situation? Am I gonna be good enough? You know, do I know what I'm doing? So we need to start to cancel out these what ifs. And the good news is, like I always say, coaching is not about giving the answers, right? We are not here to give answers for our clients. If you are really afraid that you're not gonna have the knowledge or anything like that, then get that out of your brain right away, because it is not about your advice. Guess what? Your clients, if they wanted advice, Google is a very real thing, guys. All the answers are on there. So they are coming to you for more than that. They are coming to you for accountability, for someone to listen to them, for you to help empower them, to bring them confidence, to help them to discover the answers for themselves. That is your role. If you're doing that, then huge weight should be lifted off, because guess what? You don't need to know it all. You just need to be able to help navigate your client to find the answers for themselves. Even if they ask you a question, you know, what should I do about this? You just reflect it back to them. You know, well, what would you do in this situation? If you were going to help a friend in the similar situation, what advice would you give them, or what would you tell them to do? So you're always reflecting it back to the client so that they can make the best decision for them. Another good news is that the article from Dahan found out that those who were able to doubt became the best coaches. Why? Because they were concerned about their performance. They wanted to do a good job. So because they cared, they put the effort in to be successful, to do a good job. It's that feedback loop that I'm always talking about, positive feedback loop. If you want something and you believe that you can do it, you're going to put the energy in to actually accomplish that goal. So for example, say you want to be a great coach. You want to have confidence as a coach. You don't want to have these self-doubts as a coach. So what are you going to do? You're going to learn, you're going to practice, you're going to get out there and start working with clients. You're going to get practice clients if you need that. So you're going to start there and you're going to take that action and you're going to have a session and it's going to go really well. And you're going to go, oh my gosh, okay, I actually know what I'm doing. I actually can get a result. That's amazing. Okay, well, let's try it again, right? So let's maybe work with another client. Oh, okay, and that one went well, and I was able to get them a result, and they're really happy. So I do know what I'm doing. That is the way to do it. That is the way to progress, and that is the way that you will be able to get rid of those limiting beliefs. Because if you stay stuck in panic mode of just thinking, oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm doing, am I good enough? Then if you're not gonna take action and you're just gonna stay stuck in those beliefs, then unfortunately, yeah, you are gonna stay stuck. You're probably not gonna be a good coach because you're not taking the action that is necessary to become a good coach. If you just stay stuck and listen to those doubts, you're not gonna be able to progress. So what did the second article from Dahan say about the experienced coaches? Now, it said that experienced coaches had more self-confidence, and this came from trusting themselves and also came from experience. So this makes sense. The more we do something, the more we feel competent in that area, the more confidence we have because we've done it so many times and we've had so many great results from it that we can just see, okay, yes, I know what I'm doing. I can be a great coach. I've seen it many, many times. I trust myself to be a good coach. I've got the experience. So now my confidence has grown. But if you're a beginner coach and you don't have this long line of clients behind you, then how do you learn to build your confidence? How do you learn to trust yourself? Now, the first two things that we need to do is we need to stop people pleasing and we need to stop being perfectionists. So people pleasing, it can be really, really common. We don't want to, hurt the other person's feelings. We want to just make it perfect for them. We want to, do all these things. No, stop people pleasing because that is going to give you a good result. So you go in with the intention for your client to be heard, to be understood. What comes with that is sometimes it's not always going to be an enjoyable process for your client, right? Because if you were just sitting there going, yeah, let's do that. That's a good idea. Yeah, you know what? You didn't do that. You didn't take your action steps. That's fine. Don't worry about it. No, if you are that coach, you are going to be letting your client get away with things. You're going to be doing them a disservice. So we need to be that person that holds our client accountable. This means that sometimes we're not always going to be their best friend. And this is a good thing. We do not want to be our client's friends, okay? It doesn't mean that we can't like each other, but you do not want to be your client's friend. So we want to stop people pleasing and, doing everything for everybody else. We need to be strong in ourselves, in our boundaries, in the questions that we're asking. And we need to stop being perfectionists because when we're perfectionists, we just do what we don't do because we are so busy thinking about, oh my gosh, I want this thing to be perfect, that you're not going to take the necessary action because it's never going to be good enough, right? If you don't know enough to take that next step, then you're not going to do it. If you don't feel confident enough to take that next step, you're not going to do it. You'll keep telling yourself, well, I just need to learn a little bit more. I just need to, do a little bit more. If you're always learning, then you're just not going to be getting those results because you need to take action and you need to take action before you're ready, and it doesn't need to be perfect. There is no such thing as a perfect coaching session. There are so many ways to do a coaching session. We could have one client with 5 different coaches and they would all have a completely different session based on the things that they hear that they deem, were important for the client, for the questions that they asked. It could go many different ways. And it doesn't mean that that session was good and that session was bad and that one was the perfect one. No, it means that we are all different and that is benefit of it, and that's where people are going to find the coach that works for them, the person that they want to work with, the style, the questions, and everything else. We don't want to be perfect. We don't want to be people pleasers, and it's also hard to trust ourselves if we're still attached to the person that we were. So this is important as well. So we always want to be looking at who are we becoming, right? If I am a coach, I am telling people that I'm coaching. It doesn't matter if I have 50 clients or no clients or I just have gotten my first client. I am a coach. You need to go there and believe that you are this coaching identity. So drop any other, kind of past selves or anything that's going to hold you back and you're going to go, well, I was such a screw up when I was younger. Like, how can I make this work? No, that is not the attitude that we want. We are not attached to that self. That self was an important part of us. And we're so grateful for that part because now we have been able to evolve into the person that we are, but we need to let that version go because that is not who we are anymore. We are no longer that person that is messy and doesn't finish things and is a failure, right? We are not that person. And we are the person who is a coach, who is willing to take action, who is willing to feel the fear and do it anyways, who is willing to work on our limiting beliefs despite whether or not we are coaching, right? Because we want to do things before we're ready. So you're probably going to start coaching people before you have all of those limiting beliefs ironed out. And that's absolutely fine. That's absolutely okay. That's what we need to do to progress ourselves. So we need to let go of these old versions of ourselves and focus on this future. Who am I becoming? And I am a coach now. I am a coach now. Who is the coach that I'm becoming? And that is what we want to embody. And those people, they are not going to be screw-ups. They are not going to be messes. They are not going to let their failures stop them. If they do fail at something, they're going to try again. They're going to get back up. They're going to do something different. That is how we are successful. And this new version of yourself, this coach that you are becoming, they are that person. Okay? They are that person. So we are no longer our past selves. No way, no how. We are this future version of us now. And we are doing behaviors that are in line with that person. Now, I want to ask you, do you have a hard time trusting yourself because you find it easier to lie to yourself? Are you the person who goes, yeah, I'm going to wake up at 6 and go to the gym. And then as soon as it's 6 a.m., you go, yeah, right. Snooze, 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 snooze. Are you that person? Or are you the person that goes, yeah, I'm getting up at 6 a.m. to go to the gym tomorrow. You got your shoes ready by your bed. You hear that alarm. You don't want to get up. But guess what? You told yourself that you were going to do that. So you are. You have made a commitment to yourself. So you put your shoes on, you get your butt out the door, and you go to the gym. Which person are you? Because if you're consistently telling yourself, yeah, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, and then you don't every single time, then it's going to be really hard for you to trust yourself, to believe that you can be that future person because, yeah, your belief is going to be a little bit damaged. So we need to start building that up again. And how do you do that? Start telling yourself, start committing to yourself and following through on the things that you say you're going to do for yourself. You need to be accountable to you. The great thing about having a coach is obviously you can be accountable to somebody else, but at the end of the day, you need to be accountable to you. So if you say you're going to do something, you are going to do it. That is step number one. So if that is how you're going to build up your trust. So next time you say you're going to do something, no matter how badly you do not want to do it, you are making that commitment and you need to just progress from there. So every single time you say you're going to do something, you're going to do it, you're going to build up that trust. And it may take a little bit of time, but that is the first step to building up that trust with yourself. The other thing that we can do is we can do the trust model. So the trust model is where every single letter means something else. So trust, we've got T, and it is your true self, okay? So you need to be your true self. This is about being authentic. This is about showing up truthfully online, truthfully to other people. You don't need to have some crazy persona or look at the other coaches out there and go, oh, I'm gonna be like that person, I'm gonna copy that, I'm gonna, do these things. No, you just need to be yourself. And when you're yourself, that again, your body, everything is gonna feel that. And they're gonna go, oh yeah, okay, I'm in alignment with who I am. I am my true self, and things just gonna flow. Everything is gonna be easier for you when you learn to just be your true self. Now, R is respect. So we need to respect ourselves. And this means that we are not going to be saying crap about ourselves, right? If we respect someone, we're not going to be talking crap behind their back. We're not going to be saying negative things about them behind their back. We're not going to be going, oh, she sucks. She's such an awful coach. Who does she think she is? No, if we respect someone, we're going to go, she's amazing. That person is incredible. Did you see how amazing they were? Oh my gosh, they can do so many great things. They are doing so many great things. They are just amazing, right? They're going to hype them up. So we need to have respect for ourselves and we need to hype ourselves up. So no more telling ourselves we can't do it, we're not good enough, we mess everything up, so we're not gonna try again. No, get all of those things out of your head. You are here to talk yourself up. I can do it. I am an amazing coach. I've got this. I can start a business. I can get clients. I can get paid for my services. I can do all of these things without a doubt. I have full belief in my ability. Now that person is going to go out there and they are going to be successful. The U in trust is we need to understand ourselves. It's so important to know who we are, what we represent. Again, this will fall in line with that authenticity and being our true selves as well. And, being kind to ourselves. We understand that we do not have to be perfect, that we can make mistakes, that not every session is going to go the way that we want it to, that, there are going to be times where we go, oh, I wish I had done that differently, or I wish I didn't ask that question, or that would have been a better question to ask. There are going to be those things, and it's going to be absolutely fine because you are kind to yourself. You understand that we may make mistakes, that not everything is going to go our way, and we take that information and we learn and we grow with it instead of letting it hold us back. Now, the S in trust is shared success. So again, we want to surround ourselves with people that are doing the same thing that we are. We want to surround ourselves with that strong support network, because that is just going to fuel us up. If we are in this alone and if our network isn't supportive and we feel like we don't have anyone, guess what? It's gonna be so much harder to follow through and to build up that accountability. If you've got people around you and you build up that trust within yourself, but you also have people around you going, you've got this, oh my gosh, that's amazing, you can do it. Guess what? You're gonna be way more likely to follow through, because again, you've got those supporters behind you, and it does help. It does make a difference. We all want to have people that are encouraging us, and we don't want to go through it alone. So get yourself a community that is supportive, that is going to lift you up instead of tearing you down. And the final T in trust is test it out, right? So how do you test? You need to do it, see if it worked, reevaluate, reassess. If it went well, amazing. How can you do that again? How can you copy that? If it didn't go well, how can you do improvements? How can you make it better? So if you have a session, like I said, not every session you do is gonna probably go amazing, and that's fine, especially when we're learning. But the important thing is you went out there and you gave it a try anyway. So you went out there, you gave it your best shot, and you said, okay, I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna ask the questions, and then you go, oh, actually, I didn't like that question, I would have asked this instead. Write it down. Reflective journaling is so important. We always want to be reflecting, and by reflecting, we can keep improving ourselves. Keep yourself accountable. Make those journals, write down how you can improve, and look at it, and that is how we can really become our best. And the more you do that, the more you practice, the better you're gonna be. That is truly the way to improve, is getting out there and just doing it. Now, hopefully through this method, you can learn to trust yourself. You can drop those assumptions of having to be perfect and trying to please everyone, because it's not gonna happen anyways. And you can go after what you want. Now, trusting in yourself is really, really key to a lot of things. So like I said, build it up over time. If you are that person that isn't listening to themselves, or saying they're gonna do something and then doesn't do it, that is a behavior that you need to change. That is something that you need to attack. Do it now. It's going to benefit you not only in coaching, not only in business, but in your life, in your relationships, in your finances. Everything will improve if you start to hold yourself accountable and to not lie to yourself and trust yourself. Okay? We know when we are lying anyways. It's not going to do any good things for your body, physicalities and things like that. Not going to be good. You will regret it. So start being honest with yourself. Take action on what you want. You've got this, guys. You've got this. I believe in you. I trust you. So don't prove me wrong. Hold yourself accountable. I'm holding you accountable. And I can't wait to see you in the next video soon. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. And I'll see you next week.